Okay, good morning everyone. It's the day after our second win of the season. What a day it was yesterday. Lots of fun. Felt like a little kid going back to the footy, going back to the now named Marvel Stadium. First time I've been there since the rebrand, and yeah, it was just a great day. Got there super early, got to meet people that I had been speaking to through Facebook and whatnot in person. So that was really cool. And it was just an amazing day. I'm sure most, if not all of you, have already read all the reports. And I think that's the one thing I miss about winning is you just read every single word, you watch every single program, you wait for every single analysis to be had for Carlton. And I'm just looking forward to soaking it all up. But yeah, I thought the game was very, very interesting. I got there and looked like we were going to start well, and then obviously we kicked the three behinds in the first quarter, and I kind of was in disbelief, to be honest. I was sitting on level 1 in the member zone, and there was kind of this dark silence, especially when the score line got out to 40-3, and it got really dark and silent. And then I was starting to think, it just doesn't make sense. We just lost a coach. What's it going to take to get this group going? We were just missing simple kicks. The skill errors were just so frustrating. And then, I don't know, it just changed. I don't really know when it happened, but it just sort of did. They grinded it out. The second quarter was really a tale of two halves in that quarter. So the first 10-15, it was all Brisbane, and then we came home relatively strong. And then it was just on from there. And I didn't really feel like we had the game won until probably 2 or 3 minutes left, but yeah, stoked to get the win. You could just sense there was a moment there, probably in that end of the third, start of the fourth, and that the fans were just aching for it, and there was this vibe, this anticipation amongst everyone, and you could just sense that we all wanted it. And once they started kicking on and kicking a few goals, we really brought the noise. And yeah, I did the double-fisted salute in the air once we won. I was stoked. I thought it was a great performance. It's just a win. We've just got to kind of move on now. We can't get too sucked into it now. It's really all about next week. But yeah, very happy, very happy. So what I'll do, I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to go through each player, give them a rating, and yeah, we can have a bit of a chat about it. So yeah, in the back line, Nick Newman, I thought it was okay. I didn't think he had his best game for us, but he's just sort of contributed. It's one of those games where, and a lot of them were like that today, it was kind of like, if we lose, we're criticising, if we win, it's a pass. So, yeah, I thought he was solid without being great. I'll give him a 6. I thought he got himself in good positions as well, which he usually does. Jacob Wiedering, oh God, that's one of his, I don't remember him playing that, too much better than that. I thought he was outstanding. The way he marked, the way he used his body, he's got this confidence about himself now. What a relief, because we really wanted to see that come from him this year. And big tick for me. I'm giving him a 9. I thought it was one of his better games. Lockie Plowman, he was wearing a lid, and there were moments there where I got worried because you got Charlie Cameron isolated in the goal square, and the way that they were setting up the Lions, it just looked a bit scary. But to his credit, did his job very well, held Charlie Cameron to 1 goal, and took a few strong marks, used his body well, and so he did his job. I'll give him a 7 purely because kept Charlie Cameron to 1 goal, and he's been a bit of a whipping boy. So I'm feeling nice. Halfback Caleb Marchbank, he really just grew into the game. It was I don't know if you can call it a trademark, but the way that he flies for the ball and marks it, very courageously. I saw that yesterday. I thought he and Wiedering teamed up perfectly together. Really excited with what he brought. He's got a lot of growth to go, but it was a good step in the right direction. I'm going to give him a 7. Actually, I'm going to give him an 8. It was really good. Levi Casbolt, one thing you've got to take your hat off to Levi for is, if you've read all the social media comments and you read all the analysis, God knows what kind of mental headspace he'd be in. And maybe he does read them, and maybe he is not in a great headspace because of it. And that's something we need to be very mindful of. But he was just outstanding yesterday. he just finds a way to tick it over. He finds a way to give us something to work with. And you know what? That's a sign of a good clubman. That's a sign of a guy that's, doing whatever it takes to figure it out. Obviously playing completely out of position, and he hasn't had a bad game as a defender. I think if he had a really bad game as a defender early on when we made this change, then we'd be calling for his head, even more than what we are now. So, in a sense, it's kind of like it's rejuvenated him a little bit. I think he's got complete confidence in the one-on-one contest, and that's really cool to see. So, well done to Levi. What do you have in the end? Stats is not really something we can look at for him. He had the 6 marks, 4 tackles, 8 hit outs. So yeah, he contributed well. I really liked his game. I'm going to give him an 8. Simo was, again, he was just the experienced guy on the ground, got in the right positions, patrolled back there, told people where to go. It was really good to watch him from the ground and see how he sets up and how he directs traffic. And so he's a very important piece to what we do. And there's discussion. Is this his last year? We don't really know. It could be. I think he's got basically 10 weeks to, give himself the best chance to go around again. So, yeah, I really liked his game. I'll give him a 7. Centre, Will Setterfield. He's building. I thought that was a game that I saw from him yesterday where he's just building and ticking along. He had the 18 touches, which is okay for me. First year, if he gets anywhere near that, that's a tick in terms of raw numbers. He has his moments where he can improve. I think he's got composure, but he sometimes is a little bit too slow with making his decision, and that's probably something he'll just work out as he grows up. I think that'll be something that comes to him. But I really like what I've seen from him, and for me, he's just got to enjoy his year, and then we'll worry about his criticizing him and putting the pressure on him. Maybe next year, maybe 2021. So, yeah, liked his game. Give him a 7. Paddy Cripps, 10 out of 10. He had one of those real classic, vintage now Paddy Cripps performances. These type of games, they make the entire footy world notice. And I haven't met an opposition supporter who doesn't like him. And I think just the way he goes about it, he's tough, he's uncompromising. He speaks well, he's inspirational, he's all of the above, and he was just fantastic. He really willed us to the win. The thing that I love about him, and the thing that I'm also mindful of, is for us to really be in a winning position, he needs to have these type of games, and that's something we really, as much as I love the stats and I love seeing the way he goes about it, it's sustainability. I don't know if that's really a thing with Cripps and being able to play at this level for many, many, many years. So, yeah, loved his game. 10 out of 10. That's as good as it gets. A captain's game, needed to win. Just the whole emotion around it. So, we love Cripper. Dave Cunningham. I didn't think it was his best game. I think he had 11 possessions. He's just sort of thereabouts. He stands out because he's always got this strength and he's always got this burst of speed. I just think he probably didn't get the ball as much as what we would have liked. I'm not sure if he played a role on someone that might have been why. But anyway, not a bad game. He'll stay on the side. So yeah, I'll give him a 6 for his game. Where are we? Half forward, Michael Gibbons. That's his best game as a Blue. It's going to be tough to give him a vote. I actually have Cripps, Wiedering and Walsh getting the 3, 2 and 1. So unfortunately Gibbons misses out, but that's as good as it gets. Teague spoke about playing to our strengths for the game, and you can't say that didn't happen. There was a clear connect between the message and the execution, and I spoke about it last week. And so yeah, I thought Gibbons was really good. There was one moment, I think it was in the first quarter, where he was just somehow the deepest forward again, and I thought, oh, here we go. But yeah, played a really good game. 2 really classy goals, and yeah, I'm going to give him a 9 for his game. Putting into context his experience and the way that he's building, and he's becoming a regular in the side, and that's all you can really ask him to do with his performances. Charlie Curnow, the King, is back. Loved his game yesterday. He's got his spring back. He's kicked 3 goals, some really impressive goals in there. Didn't seem to have been bothered by any knee ailment, no strapping, the springs. It was really good to see. And when he's in that kind of form, we're a really tough team to play against. So really happy to see Charlie back in form. I'll give him a 9. Lockie O'Brien. Hey, the whipping boy. But I thought he was really good yesterday. I really enjoyed his game. I thought Tiggy brought him in for a specific role and he performed it. I even saw him pushing guys around, and something I didn't see a few weeks ago. He was just really, had the appetite for it, and that's great. That's a huge tick for where he was 3 weeks ago and not really able to impact. So, yeah, that's the kind of performance from Lachie O'Brien that I look at and I say, all right, well, you can stay in the side. So he's had the 14 or 15 touches. He's kicked a goal. Would love for him to get more of the ball, but again, we're talking about year 2. So, and he's a very small fella. He got a bit of a knock in the sort of 10 minutes to go in the game. So I don't know how serious it is, but we'll see what happens there. If Stocker's ready, I think I'd prefer to see Stocker in the side personally, but it was a good performance from Lachie O'Brien, and I think the supporters needed to see it from him. So I'll give him a 7. Forward line, Mitch McGovern. Yeah, it was. I felt it was just patchy. It was just a classic. He really just. It was a game that he's played pretty much for the majority of the year. One thing I love about him is when he goes back for a set shot, there's never in doubt. And I love that about him. Gets the job done when it comes to kicking goals. Didn't kick a lot of goals. And David Teague spoke about how he sacrifices his game and his position for the betterment of the team. So that's probably something that we're not looking at. I think when we see a big recruit that we pay a lot of money for, you want to see that translate into goals and scores and stats. And I don't know, I just feel like there is a lot more to come from him, and I think we just want to see it because we know how talented he is and how talented he can be. So I'll give him a 6 for his game. Harry Mackay, I thought Harry struggled a little bit. I thought he just couldn't find his way to get a real grip on the game. He had the 10 touches, he kicked a goal. No, he didn't. He kicked 2 behinds. Yeah, he just never. Yeah, the body work, the body contests, and watching him and watching the way he was leading, I thought he was just out of tune a little bit. So it's a learning experience. He's in that phase of his career. He's still got many years ahead of him, so nothing to worry about. I'll give him a 5 for his game, just a pass mark. Ed Curnow, didn't realise he had the 30 touches by the end of the game. So he started the game. He didn't start the game on Neil. He started as a forward, and then he moved to Lachie Neil in the third quarter and completely shut him down. And that's, I remember seeing Lachie Neil was on like 98 or 89 Supercoach points at halftime, thinking, gosh, here we go. I think he had, could be wrong, I think he had 21 at halftime. And he finished with 31. So that's a huge tick for Ed Curnow. That's a massive game. And again, he has this ability to have one not so great game where we start thinking, oh, is he a list clogger? What's going on? Is he dipping? Then he backs it up with a really strong performance. So, yeah, well done, Ed. I'm giving him a 9 for his game. That was huge. And that was a big part of why we won the game yesterday, I think. Followers, Matty Cruiser. Touch wood. Let's not jinx it, but it's just good to see him getting some continuity in his footy. We love him out there. He's a battler. Didn't get a lot of the ball yesterday, but his presence is obviously felt. I thought he was not his best game, but I thought he was just, very solid. So I'll give him an 8 for his game. Then we have Sam Walsh. Crazy what this kid can do. 141 Supercoach points for you fantasy heads out there. 30, what do you have, 32? 32 touches, 12 marks. We talk about his running ability every week. He's insane, and he can only get better. He's got an amazing captain to work off and sort of play with for the next 10 years of his career, and I'm just so happy for him. I'm racked. Call him a safe pick all you like, but he's a star. He's an absolute star. He'd be the heavy favourite now for the Rising Star after a performance like that. That's a really mature game, and he just willed himself to get involved in the game. And so I'll give him. Can I give him a 10? Yeah, I'm giving him a 10. He's an 18-year-old kid. I'm giving him a 10. So I love that. Zach Fisher, solid game. 25 touches. He's sort of just like on the cusp of having that massive breakout game. So yeah, I thought it was excellent. Not his best game. I've seen him play better before. I've seen him have a breakout game above what he did yesterday. But yeah, if he gives us 25 touches, no worries. You can keep that up. I'm not sure what he's... let me check it here. So Zach Fisher went at 68% disposal efficiency, which is okay. We need it to be a little bit better, and I think he can put himself in some dangerous positions, some more dangerous positions. And so, yeah, happy with what I saw. I'll give him an 8 for his game. Interchange bench, Jack Silvani, he probably falls into that category as well. You know, if we lose, it's kind of like, oh, Jack, you know, you weren't able to impact. Because we've won, we can sort of look at it and be optimistic. He just didn't find a way to impact as much as he would have liked. He sort of creates himself half chances and then doesn't quite finish off. A few snaps, some body work. He's really improved in that area. I can definitely see that. So happy in that sense, something to work with. We got the win, so let's keep the confidence and the positivity going on him, and hopefully he can have a good one next week. So I'll give him a 6 for his game. Paddy Dow, yeah, look, his kicking lets him down. We know that. Had a run through the midfield and hit up Harry Mackay, I believe it was, in the first quarter, and just kicked it too low. And it was just the continuation of the frustration with him. He had the 13 touches. He has these moments where he explodes out of stoppage, and that's great. Just got to work on his kicking. You know, I'm not saying anything new here, so I'll give him a 6 for his game. Sam Petrevski-Seaton, what do I think of Samo's game? 24 touches. I didn't realise he had that much of the ball, but if he's getting that much of the ball, you know, I said it during the week as well, we need Fisher and Samo to have really strong games, and they did. They had really strong games. I'm giving Samo an 8. Getting that much of the ball is important because we know how much of a good user he is. And yeah, it's just now about finding that that bare minimum and sticking with it. You know, don't dip too below, and let's close the gap between your best and your worst, and see how much better a side we are when that happens. So good job to Samo. And finally, Daisy. I thought he was going to have this big monster game. It just wasn't to be. 16 touches. He was a solid contributor. He wasn't outstanding, but he was solid. Did his job. Didn't notice him a lot, but you know, he brings experience. He brings positioning. He brings these sorts of things. So I'm going to give Daisy a 6 for his game. What did you think? As I said before, Cripps gets the 3 votes. Wiedering 2, Sam Walsh 1. What did you think? Who were your best players yesterday? Did you enjoy the game? Share something with me that I haven't said that I don't know about. And yeah, looking forward to the build-up of next week. Going into the bye afterwards, we can just have an absolute crack next week and hopefully get a little winning streak going ahead of the bye and then come home strong at the end of the year. So let me know in the comments below.